All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are live, and can you believe we are bringing to you episode 8 of the Hard Cam? Wow, 9 straight weeks of commentating on wrestling, and I don't know that we're any smarter, but we're having a lot of fun doing it. As always, we want to jump right into this episode with some recaps of what happened in the wrestling world this past week. We'll start with SmackDown. To open the show, Sami Zayn would defeat Rey Fenix for a U.S. Championship match. Sami Zayn is doing the U.S. Open Challenge, and Rey was his next one. Special note that this was the first time ever that Sami Zayn and Rey Fenix had ever faced off. Following that, there would be sort of a match, sort of not a match. Julia would go against B-Fab, but the match would never start. So, no winner, no contest. Jade Cargill would face Tiffany Stratton for the women's world title, and that match would also end in no contest. We'll explain that. Finally, in the main event, Drew McIntyre, whoop whoop, our boy Drew, would get the
Yes.
dub over Randy Orton. Then we have Raw. Lyra Valkyria and Roxanne Perez open the show. Lyra Valkyria would come out on top. She beat Roxanne. Penta then got his revenge against Kofi Kingston. He would win against Kofi Kingston in the second match on Raw. El Grande Americano would face off against Dragon Lee, and El Grande Americano would beat our boy, Dragon Lee. Stephanie
No
Vauquer
wing.
then got put into a match against Kairi Sane. Stephanie Vauquer won. And then finally in the main event, I think this is what, 6 main events in a row? Bronson Reed and Braun Breaker in the main event of Raw would defeat Jimmy Uso and L.A. Knight. We're going to be breaking all this hot action down for you as we get ready to go into WrestlePalooza weekend. And joined with me as always on commentary tonight is my brother, Dominik, and then the patriarch, Jimmy. Missing tonight is Adrian, but I'm told he might pop in from time to time, and hopefully we'll have him back on future episodes. Well, guys, how you feeling?
Pretty good, pretty good. I'm
Yeah.
excited.
uh, yeah, it was pretty pedestrian this week. Uh, Not real impressed. Well, but some bright spots. Uh, I'm hoping that WrestlePalooza, I still can't hardly get that to come out of my mouth, will make up for some of it.
Is it the same feeling as saying that as it is putting mayonnaise on a sandwich, Jimmy? It's just not your thing.
Maybe not quite that bad, but yeah, maybe so.
It's awful. It's awful. And honestly, I don't even know how I'm going to watch it yet. I don't know where it's going to be streaming. I might have to take Stephanie McMahon's advice and just use a VPN and watch it on Netflix because I don't have any. I don't have the ESPN app. I don't use it. So there's probably a lot of people that are going to not be able to watch it the way they're used to watching it. So what we will do is we will commit to you right now that we're going to cover WrestlePalooza action on this show next week and try to do so without vomiting. But yeah,
We we're having to go to a movie theater to see it, which I'm not upset about. I can eat all the popcorn for 4 hours and come out of there just feeling amazing.
feeling buttery.
Oh yeah, I love the theater experience. I really do.
I do too. Speaking of theater experiences, we went last night. I took my daughter Jersey to see the Demon Slayer movie, and we went to Studio Movie Girl and had a great time. And I love the theater. We ate good. We had some delicious dessert, ice cream brownie, and the Demon Slayer anime was awesome. So you guys that are anime fans, go hit that up before it leaves theaters. But yeah, okay. Well, let's get started here, and I'm gonna just go ahead and do it. We're gonna talk botches this week in botch, and I'm gonna explain why we're starting there because SmackDown last week started with a huge botch, and it was awesome. It was a great botch. I'm going to go ahead and just usher us into the opening segment of SmackDown featured the first real promo we've gotten from Mr. Brock Lesnar. And I think that I want to just break down what I think WWE did here just to start things off. It's not a secret that Brock Lesnar's name has been dropped, and he is in the midst of all this sexual harassment allegation stuff that's going on with Mr. Vince McMahon and the WWE. We know all this is going on. We know Brock's been off TV for a long time because, honestly, he's a hot topic surrounding all this. But he's back. He's back for John Cena, and he comes out to cut a promo. And I really believe that WWE had our boy R-Truth in reserve as a contingency plan in case Brock wasn't received well on an open mic. And so Brock comes out, and sure enough, as soon as he gets to the ring, you can hear people in the crowd shouting at him, cussing at him, saying things at him. He was mixed. It was very mixed reception for Brock. Some people cheered for him, but then it didn't take long before you started hearing those errant comments. And so before Brock Lesnar got the chance to speak, our boy R-Truth came out and saved it. And I think WWE from the beginning was like, hey, if you're received well, go ahead and cut a promo. If it gets hairy out there, we're going to send Truth out because we know nobody's going to boo R-Truth. Like, he'll fix it for you. And so they waited, and Brock Lesnar was silent in the ring for a little bit. And before he got to say a word, they sent R-Truth out to do crowd control. And R-Truth did good. It was good to see him up against him. There was a funny segment where R-Truth introduced himself as the brother of John Cena and said he was there to defend John Cena's honor because John Cena, as we all know, wasn't scheduled to be there in the first place. And honestly, if Brock Lesnar had been watching the John Cena's retirement run as much as we have, he knows he's there because he's there to fight him, but he doesn't know that he's not on SmackDown because he's been saying, I'm not going to be on SmackDown anymore after Chicago. Plot hole, WWE. But here's where Botch of the Week comes in, and I thought it was awesome, and I'll tell you why. Brock gets fed up with R-Truth in their promo together, and he picks R-Truth up and gives him the F5, and when he does, he rips his jeans from his butt down to about the middle of his knee, revealing some bright blue Johnnies for the whole world to see. And I was like, oh my gosh, we're 10 minutes into SmackDown and I already know my Botch of the Week. Brock Lesnar's pants botched on us all. And here's the part that I want to talk about, which was really great. When Brock Lesnar came to the ring, he was all business, didn't shake hands, looked at people like they were dirt. But when his pants ripped, he completely changed his character. His character broke a mile wide, and he started laughing. He started dancing in the ring. He was showing off his butt. And then on the way out, he was even slapping hands and laughing with the crowd. And, as mixed as the reception was for Brock, on his way out, everybody loved Brock. I mean, they were cheering for him. They were laughing with him. He played it well. And when we get to the booking couch, I'm going to talk a little bit more about this. But here we are, guys. Botch of the Week, Brock Lesnar's jeans. That's mine. I'm giving it to you, and that's where we're starting the show tonight because that's what wrestling gave me to begin. Yeah, jeans. What did you guys think when you saw that happen?
It was funny. I was kind of shocked to see him go into that different kind of character that he went into, where he was, like you said, dancing in the ring and high-fiving everyone. But I also wasn't completely shocked at the same time because Brock Lesnar, even in the past, used to be a little funny clown every once in a while. Like whenever he won Money in the Bank or stole Money in the Bank, when it worked, he turned the Money in the Bank briefcase into a boombox, and he walked out there and would, like, every time he was threatening to cash in on someone, he played their theme song on his boombox, start dancing to it. And so, I mean, like, he's always been a little clown. And we all know Brock Lesnar's famous for ruining Bobby Lashley's career with the knock-knock joke, so.
That's good take. That's good take. Yeah, I thought it was great, and I honestly wasn't interested in Brock based on his demeanor and the slow progression of his promo with Truth. He was trying too hard to be hard, and we've said many times that when Braun Breaker tries too hard to be hard, he kind of loses appeal. Well, Brock was doing the same thing, and then when he broke his character and just started having fun in there, I was like, okay, Brock, You've been doing this for years. You could do this and sell it. You could be like Randy Orton and just come out and make the world your playground and then beat people up, and we'd love you for it.
Yes.
But I do think it was all, again, I think it was all part of the contingency to even have R-Truth involved. Otherwise, I think he would have come out, done a shoot on Cena, and gone home. So I'm glad that it worked out, and I like this botch.
Yeah.
We could give some to Dragon Lee and all these other people that we normally do, but whatever.
I like your take on Truth being sent out there for crowd control. I would have never picked up on that, but I could see that being the case.
It started clicking in my mind when Brock waited as long as he did to talk. You know, he looked at people. Yeah. They were trying to fix the mic several times. You'd have somebody start shouting out, and then they'd pull the mic crowd noise back, and then they'd lift it back up. And I was like, man, you know, that's really kind of like genius to use R-Truth for that. And you could tell that the dialogue between R-Truth and Brock wasn't well scripted, you know. They just said, R-Truth, go save it. And then they kind of had to go through with it because, you know, Brock asked the question like 3 times. Who are you? You know, I'm like, okay, Brock, you know who he is. Where's this going? So good on WWE.
For sure, a good call on WWE, because another piece of history that most of our viewers might not know, or people who haven't been watching all this time or took a gap time period, whatever it may be, the feud between Brock Lesnar and Cena in 2012, in the midst of that feud, Brock Lesnar, at the time, John Cena, R-Truth were like really good friends and like all stuff like that, and they were like helping each other out throughout the time period. Anyways, long story short, Lesnar returned by beating the crap out of R-Truth and like injured him really bad, and so like it was kind of a callback, if you want to say.
You know, the last few weeks of John Cena's retirement run have kind of been like the final season of Cobra Kai. Just nostalgia, wrapping up loose ends.
Yeah.
And for those of you that listen to the podcast that don't watch Cobra Kai, you're missing out. Cobra Kai is an amazing series that takes Johnny Lawrence's view and carries on for the Karate Kid. A lot of fun. Our family watches that, and we had a lot of fun with it. Well, who wants to go next? Dominik, you were talking to me about a botch before the show started, and obviously we have different ones. So, I mean, I want to hear yours.
My botch is for the Tiffany and Jade match. Whenever Tiffany went to go do the moonsault off the top of the rope to the outside of the ring onto Jade, and Jade moved, and Tiffany landed on her feet wrong. She hit her head really hard on the back of the thing. I literally said to Dad, "There's no way she's not hurt from that. She may not be hurt right this instant, but there has to be some kind of injury. It's like she had to like concussion, maybe minor, I don't know, something, whiplash, because she hit the ground hard."
That's 2 weeks in a row she's done that. She's done that 2 weeks in a row now.
Yeah, and it caused but when I was saying about it affecting the NXT Homecoming, or the original match that was booked for NXT Homecoming was Rhea, Tiffany, and Stephanie Vaquer versus the Fatal Influence. But Tiffany got pulled from it last minute because they said she was not medically cleared to perform in it, and they put Lyra Valkyria in that match. They didn't necessarily confirm the injury. They just said she wasn't medically cleared. But they also had Ava announce it. So, but who knows? Ava's the manager of NXT for our viewers who don't know that. But yeah, pretty much she got injured. I'm pretty positive it's concussion though, or a minor concussion or whatever. But yeah, she got pulled from that match last minute and everything. Lyra Valkyria had to take her spot. And so
I did think who was in that match. Now tell everybody who was in that match. It was Rhea, Lyra, and
Stephanie Vaquer.
Yeah.
Yes, it was Stephanie Vaquer. It was an NXT Homecoming event. They brought back all the old NXT stars and made them fight all the new NXT stars. And so it was like a whole homecoming thing. And so that's why they put Lyra in there.
It was a cool episode. You know, they had a lot of good talent.
Yeah, it was.
Honestly, and I know we don't cover NXT on this show, but Finn Balor coming back to NXT and doing his thing.
Oh, my Lord.
Hot. Super hot. Yeah,
he
he was like the world champion of NXT for a minute. Like on that show, I felt like he was bigger. So, I mean, it was a good episode of NXT this week if anybody wants to go back and watch it.
For sure.
But no, 100%. I did notice that botch, and she finished the match though, which is why I didn't include it.
She did finish
but it looked like it hurt. And then, you know, the last time she was in a match as well, she hit the ground and she got up and screamed it off, you know, because she hurt. Now, that being said, I'm not a Jade fan because of all of Jade's botches. I feel like she's the biggest botcher on SmackDown. And I didn't know whether to credit that to Tiffany or Jade, but
well, I mean,
sucks.
I don't know if I mean, I'll be the first to sit here and call out someone on a botch, and I don't think that was going to say Jade's fault. Jade, she was supposed to move. That was obviously what was choreographed. She was supposed to move out the way. I think Tiffany just landed wrong. If you watch it, she tried to land on her feet. She just didn't land right, and she just went boom, hit the crap out of her head on the back of that padding. And I knew for a fact. I seen the way her head bounced off that floor. I was like, "There's no way she's not hurt."
Boing! Yeah, I did bounce, and then I'm with you. It was pretty bad. I did have honorable mention botch, though, going to Jade Cargill's leggings. So the very start of the show, we got a rip in Brock's pants, and then the very first match, Jade Cargill's leggings ripped all the way down her leg. So that's on my honorable mention botch. But, man, I hate that that's as bad as it was that she had to miss NXT because of it. I wasn't aware. So thanks for telling me, Dom. But okay,
No problem.
Solid botches this week. Solid botches. We do hope Tiffany gets better. But Jimmy, wrap us up in botch, man. Wrap us up harder than they're wrapping up Tiffany's head.
Well, I thought we were going to be wrapping Lyra up in funeral garbs there for a minute when Roxanne pulled her off that top rope and
yes,
that was brutal.
That was a spot. Oh god!
And then on the replay, you could see her head hit the turnbuckle on the way down, and just snap.
That was
man.
brutal.
I will say this: I didn't know if it was a botch or not, but we'll cover this later.
I didn't know either. That's why I didn't put it on mine because I didn't know if it was a botch. I mean, even if it wasn't, it was still a brutal shot that probably shouldn't have happened. But it was I mean, God,
it was rough.
It was gnarly.
So like, yeah, when we'll cover this too, guys, but when Bayley returned and the camera showed Lyra laying in the ring, Lyra looked rough. I mean, she looked like she didn't know where she was, and I thought that too was because of the spot, botch, bump, whatever she took in the turnbuckle. Her makeup was scattered. Her face, she didn't even look like the same person.
When she went back for that interview to Bayley's dressing room, she still looked like her eyes.
Yeah, she did look out of
glazed over. She looked rough then. I was thinking, I don't know how she's still going. They should have her at the hospital.
Yeah, it was pretty brutal.
Well, if the highlight of our week are the botches, then Jimmy was right. The action this week on WWE wasn't anything to write home about. They are just ready for WrestlePalooza, and but the botches were pretty intense. So some really good takes there. Just to catch our viewers up, though, on what we're talking about with some of these botches. On SmackDown, Jade Cargill would finally get to have her SmackDown World Title rematch. And let me just go ahead and walk you through this. They had a decent match, honestly. It was good back and forth. As we said, Jade's leggings ripped, and Tiffany had some really good aerials and stuff like that. There was a spine buster attempt, too, by Tiffany that didn't go over very well. She totally missed it. And then they would fight on the ring apron, do some wild stuff to each other, and because they were out of the ring too long, they got a double count out, and that's how that match ended. So we didn't have a title change. And then, weirdly enough, we're going to segue there in a minute. We had some interference at the end of the match. Hold on to it. We'll get there. But to cover that match, that's what took place. And then Jimmy's talking about the match between Lyra and Roxanne. Now, I will say that was strange that Raquel beat Lyra last week, but Roxanne the Prodigy did not beat her this week, and that was without any interference. So Lyra loses to Raquel, but she wins against Roxanne, and I think all of us agree that WWE has been pushing Roxanne really hard compared to how they've been pushing Raquel. So the winner there is a little weird to me. You think Roxanne would make quick work of Lyra if Raquel was able to.
Well, they're just continuing. They're just continuing. Every star that's facing both members of a tag team in consecutive weeks, they're losing to one and beating the other. You see that with Dragon Lee. He fought Kofi. Then I think Kofi beat him, and then he beat
I think
the what's his name? Kofi's partner.
Xavier Woods.
Xavier Woods would not come to my mind. And then he fought Kofi again, and he beat Kofi this time. But that's how they've been doing it. It seems like these people that are fighting one member of the tag team one week and the other member the other week, they're splitting every time. So I don't know how they decide how they're going to split them, but
yeah, they're definitely doing that. It's pretty obvious.
That pattern's holding.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, what I was saying though is I thought that it was backwards for her to beat Raquel and lose to Roxanne, considering how WWE was pushing Roxanne. But I'm okay with how it goes. I think I like Lyra more than I like Raquel and Roxanne, so I'm okay with her winning. We'll see what's about to happen. Now that we've covered botch of the week, here's the deal. Jimmy, you introduced Roxanne and Lyra. Dominik, you introduced Jade and Tiffany. And either way we go about this, we go to another segment to cover some things. But we're going to go ahead and do pop or flop right now. And what I will say is I went ahead and documented my floppity flop of the week, brother, as Nia Jax once again. Now, let me tell you why it was a floppity flop. And it wasn't really because of what Nia did. Nia took them to the woodshed after the match. But why have the match end in no contest out of the ring if you were just going to have Nia show up and beat them up? Why not have it end in DQ? Why not make us hate Nia even more? But at the end of the Jade Cargill and Tiffany match, just to give a consecutive recap here, it ended in no contest. They were fighting outside of the ring. They got close to the ring barrier, and Nia showed up and beat them both up. And the whole scenario to me was a flop because it made no sense. Nia is still trying to be relevant with Tiffany Stratton's title. And overall, it was just a flop. Even though Nia beat them both up and was standing over them at the end, the crowd did not care. So, flop of the week, brother. Nia Jax, once again, I think she's on a 4-week winning spree on this show. Definitely. Woo, flop something queen. Like jeez. So that'll give you some. Go ahead.
I kind of expected either you or me to do Nia, so I went ahead and had me a second one, just so she's not the only one we're talking about, because there's some others too that are worth talking about.
Well, and the thing about it is we all knew it was coming. It sucked. And the reason I go ahead and get to that segment is because that gives us some closure on what we were saying about Jade Cargill and Tiffany Stratton. So, Dominik, 100%. If it's not Nia, who is it this week?
Flop is, for me, even though the match redeemed it a little bit, my flop was like, I didn't mind. Okay, it was Rey Fenix and Sami. I was really it was the U.S. Open Challenge thing. I was probably had a little bit too much high hopes is what it is, maybe. I don't know. But Rey Fenix was a surprise, but it was a little bit of a disappointing surprise because, let's be real. What has WWE done to make me be excited about Rey Fenix? He did good in the tag team division for the little bit of time that he was on Andrade, that he was with Andrade. But, what else has they done for me to be excited about him, right? So it was like, yeah, okay, cool. Thank you for giving me a dead giveaway that Sami's going to continue to win. Not even make it interesting. So there's a flop. But the match was so good that I was actually rooting for Rey Fenix to win.
Well, wait a minute. The match was good. I will give you that. But what almost made botch of the week was Sami not lifting his shoulders on the 3 count. It was a more obvious botch than when Damian Priest did it.
That's true.
And the crowd.
That was a bad spot.
The crowd saw it and they booed them for almost 5 minutes because Rey Fenix won. Rey Fenix won. The ref went 1, 2, and then pulled his hand, and Sami's still laying there. That was obvious.
It made me mad.
So
made me
that
so
almost
mad.
got botch of the
Sammy-
week, but you're
Yeah,
saying it's
Sammy-
flop of the week because of booking?
Yeah, I'm saying it's flop of the week because of booking. But like I said, the match was so good, it redeemed itself, and I wouldn't mind seeing Rey Fenix keep doing some more stuff because Rey Fenix is phenomenal.
Let me tell you what we need without getting over into booking too much. Rey Fenix against Dragon Lee would be a feud for the ages.
Oh yeah, dude.
And you could
100%.
bring in
That was-
AJ Styles and Penta and make it amazing.
Yes, 100%, brother. But my pop goes to Cena and Bayley.
Well, hold on to that. Hold on. We still flopping over here, bro. We beached
Okay, we're still
whales.
flopping. Okay, I thought we were doing both. I'm sorry.
No, I haven't given my pop yet. We're still beaching, baby. Flopping.
Okay.
Now to recap for our viewers though, Dominik mentions the Sami Zayn Rey Fenix match. It was the very first title defense besides John Cena of his run. He met him in the back of the arena, told him it was going to face off against each other, and they did. It was a great match. Rey honestly was better in the match than Sami was, although I got to be honest with you, Sami did well too. He's not making any negative for me this week, even though we still can't stand him. There was a lot of good counters in the match, and then Sami Zayn would of course win with a really good exploser haluva kick combo, and the crowd loved the match despite the obvious pinning botch. So that took place. That was actually our opener on SmackDown. Dominik gives it the flop though because booking, and I can see that.
It was just bad booking all the way around too. Because I mean, on top of it being Rey Fenix, they didn't even want to give us the privilege of like the anticipation. It probably would have been a little bit cooler or less disappointing
if they hadn't showed him in the back.
Yeah, if they hadn't showed him back, if Sammy would have walked out there, gotten in the ring, and been like, "Open challenge, U.S. Open challenge begins now," and then you sit out there waiting, and then boom, here comes Rey, and then Rey Fenix theme song goes. I mean, it'd have been a cool moment, it'd have been
I gotta
sick,
be honest with you. I think surprise culture is missing in WWE right now. The last really good surprise that we got, and really maybe the only good surprise we've gotten all year. I mean, obviously, anytime Rhea Ripley comes out, it's kind of a surprise and it's awesome. That's kind of her thing. But I really think the only good surprise we've gotten all year long was when Joe Hendry showed up at WrestleMania. I don't think we've gotten any major in the moment surprises. Maybe you could say Brock Lesnar at the end of SummerSlam, okay, but not just like shock value because we knew Brock was coming. You know what I mean? We knew he was coming back for this.
Yeah.
I think Joe Hendry might be the only big return we've gotten like that was shock, and I would love to see some more shock value in WWE again. People winning on the cuff of we've talked about that belt changes and stuff. But yeah, okay, I agree. Kind of flopping. You could have surprised us with Rey, especially since he's been off TV for a month. We haven't seen Rey for a month.
Exactly. Like why couldn't he get that? Like I don't understand that, man. It's
mid card. I'm gonna get a sign that says mid card.
Yes, mid card, bro. Put some that's for later in the show. I got a whole conversation about that.
We'll have it. Jimmy, give me your flop of the week, brother.
Kofi Kingston.
Oh,
not impressed. I was not impressed with him at all. We've had that match. It's filler. It's obvious filler. Didn't progress the storyline.
It definitely is obvious filler for one person, and it's very annoying because I'm ready for them to just go ahead and do it so the filler can just stop.
Well, now I gotta say yes, because it was weird. We had a fun face-off last week between Penta and Rusev, and then that's done. It's over.
That's it.
It's like it never happened. And now he's back with the New Day.
And apparently Rusev is now number one contender for Intercontinental title, and it's like
we're going to talk about that too. Now, what's crazy is like what happens here. Well, now okay. Following the match, Penta would face off with Kofi, the New Day. Penta got beat up.
Yes, he got beat up backstage by the New Day.
And the War Raiders, of course, came to help him, which I kind of like, guys. I like the War Raiders and Penta. I do.
Yes, I do too.
But what does this mean for Penta? Are we still feuding, or is Penta hurt, or what's second base here?
Oh, you're gonna make me say my booking couch early.
Are you gonna do the one you were telling me about?
So here's the deal. Here's the deal, bro. Penta. I think Penta's gonna be booked as he got injured by the New Day. War Raiders are gonna call the New Day out into a tag team match. And it's gonna be New Day versus War Raiders, and then Grayson Waller is gonna interfere, and then them three are gonna be beating up on the War Raiders, and then here comes the return of Austin Theory to fight Grayson Waller at Crown Jewel in Australia in his hometown.
Okay, so how does Austin Theory play into Penta and the War Raiders?
Because Grayson Waller left Austin Theory dirty as crap. He just went to New Day and was like, I'm done with that garbage. A-Town Down Under is over. I'm with the New Day now.
But wasn't Austin Theory let go? Isn't he not with WWE?
No, he's still with WWE. That was a lie. That was fib stuff being posted. He's still on the roster. You can look it up. He's still on there.
Well, this is breaking news then for our viewers, because I swear I thought Austin Theory was done with WWE. You're telling me something new.
Yeah, if me and Adrian looked on the roster, he is still on there. He is not in the alumni. He has not been removed. He is still on the thing. He is there. And I believe that they did the dirty split up because they booked it as Austin Theory was injured and that he was dead weight to Grayson Waller. So now Big G's with the New Day. And so I believe that they had him off TV for a while because they've honestly been wanting for a couple of years now for Austin Theory to be booked as that babyface. And a lot of people were expecting it last year and it never got the trigger pulled on it. And so this year they took him off TV for a couple of months. Made us believe that he might just be gone, and then boom, here he is. He's about to pop up, and I'm telling you, Crown Jewel, Austin Theory versus Grayson Waller, and I'm pretty positive of it. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong, but I'm pretty positive of it.
It's what we need. It's what we need for Austin. It would revitalize a lot, but you didn't answer one of my questions.
What?
What about Penta?
I think that honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if I don't know. In a way, I wouldn't be surprised if Penta just gets injured, removed off TV for about a month, and then just comes back and goes into something else. It's kind of how
I really think if they could do a Ray Dragon somehow and incorporate AJ, because you want the Raw tag team. You want the Raw tag team revitalized.
You want the Raw tag team, and I believe that Rey Fenix fighting Sami for the U.S. title like he did randomly off the cuff like that was to see how to see how good he can handle himself. Because I do believe I don't know if you viewers, the news broke this week. Andrade quit WWE. He did not get released. He quit because they had plans for him and Rey Fenix to win the tag team titles at Clash in Paris, but he disappeared after SummerSlam. No one could get a hold of him. Then he sent a resignation letter into WWE and he quit because he wasn't being used properly or whatever. It's what the letter said. And so now Fenix,
sometimes reality bleeds into WWE. And Andrade was a big name, and when he was a big name, he was with Charlotte. But now him and Charlotte are back on the same show. They're not together. And I can only imagine what working in that environment's really like for people that were married.
Yeah, no, I'm not.
So I don't blame him for quitting, but
I'm not necessarily on his head for quitting per se. I'm just saying that he did quit and that they did have plans for Rey Fenix to win a tag team title. So I do believe and I can see them reuniting the Lucha Bros on Raw tag team and making the Raw tag team good again.
But could you imagine too, the Lucha Bros and the Usos?
Right, or the Lucha Bros and LWO or the Lucha Bros. I mean, there's opportunities. Yeah, we need to do it. We need to go ahead and just pull the trigger and just get it done. That's exactly what I could see happening. Austin Theory moves into that. Austin Theory moves into that story. Penta moves on into doing whatever he needs to do that they have cool book for him. Hopefully something with his brother, and that's a simple fix. But
maybe we'll Penta and Ray will tag up and finally put an end to the Grandes. Jeez, we could go on forever about this. This is a good segment.
But I will add that it's a good thing that I'm not Brock Lesnar, because I'm the Commando Patriarch. It would have done me no good to rip my pants.
Good Lord. And that on the podcast is crazy, Father.
Yeah, well,
all right. To catch everyone up, we've said before, if we had a part of this show that was called "Well, That Happened," it would probably go to Penta and Kofi this week. There was nothing remarkable about the match. Nothing really great happened. Penta took on the whole New Day by himself, got no help, made the New Day look incredibly smaller than they already are. The only thing notable was Xavier Woods was wearing a hat that actually fit this week. Okay, great, Xavier. Glad you finally found your. Yeah, I was going to say I was glad Penta remembered his Temu password finally and was able to get some clothes that fit.
Boy, Temu is crazy, brother.
Now, I will say, though, there was a spot that I did kind of drop my jaw at in that match. When they beat Penta up on the outside and Xavier stood over Penta with the red jacket and was waving it over him like a matador, I was like, oh.
Yeah, that was pretty. That was pretty gnarly.
That's pretty vile there, but
yeah, that's pretty vile. Yeah, that was.
Other than that,
what's killing me? My favorite thing about the New Day though right now is the open head surgery thing with Xavier Woods. It's so stupid but so funny at the same time.
His Facebook is really funny. You should follow him on Facebook.
Oh, he is hilarious. I know. I have him on my Twitter. He's hilarious. By the way, viewers, if you go on, type in WWE roster on any of your searches, you scroll down in the A's, Austin Theory's right there. I just did it as we're speaking, just to make sure I wasn't going to fail.
Jimmy, let's go in reverse. Tell me some pop. Give me pop. Like the popcorn you're going to eat on Saturday.
I mean, it's kind of been the case for 3 weeks now, but I didn't see a better pop than John Cena. He killed it again. I mean,
it's kind of hard.
It's kind of hard,
especially he's in his home state. He's in his home state at the college he played at. I mean, it's kind of a gimme pop. That's why I put him and one other person.
Well, see, now I'm going to take an opposing view here, and I'm going to explain to you why. This was the first John Cena promo that I was ready to get through. And
yeah, no, I didn't.
Did he get a good pop? Yes, he always gets a good pop. Always gets a good pop. But he ranted for 5 minutes, about hustle, loyalty, respect, the stuff he does. I did like his personal connection he made to Springfield and how he went to college there. But then he goes on and he says that now finally he's going to explain why he's been having the ring announcers introduce him the way that he has. He started doing this when he was a heel. The all-time greatest of all time, never seen, 17, all that stuff. He started doing that when he was a heel. And he did that to troll the crowd. That is exactly why he did it. But he gets in here as face Cena and he says, no, the reason I was doing that is to remind me each week that I love wrestling and I'm coming in here to leave it better than I found it and all this other stuff. And I'm like, no, you didn't. You are a hypocrite liar on stage.
I do hate that they have like don't get twisted. I liked the redemption thing he did with the kid. That was beautiful. That was awesome. Yes. And I love some of the other redemption stuff they've had him do, when he switched from heel to face just like that. But going out there and saying that you did that for that is just like, nah, bro. We everybody knows you're lying right now, man. Everybody
well, the thing is, it's his last SmackDown. It's his last Raw. That's the last one. So, I mean,
no, he actually has 2 more Raws. He has 2 more Raws. They're both in November.
Oh, I thought he said it was his last Raw.
It was his last Raw in his home.
Now, listen, I'm going to say
we
this
need
too.
Matches on the others.
Yeah, we do.
Yeah. Now, I'm going to say this too. Even though he switched to being face, he still needs to retire a champion. He's got to do it, guys.
I don't necessarily disagree with you, man. I would like to see. I don't know. I'm very, very intrigued and confused as what the plans are to end this man's career, because when you look at the dates that we have confirmed in front of us after WrestlePalooza, he does not show up again until Crown Jewel. No SmackDowns, no Raw, just straight from Palooza to Crown Jewel. And then between Crown Jewel and Survivor Series, there's 2 Raws. And then between Survivor Series and his retirement, PLE, nothing. Just straight to the retirement match after Survivor Series.
So what we can infer from that is he's going to show up at Crown Jewel and he's going to get challenged by somebody at Crown Jewel. It's going to be his final feud. They're probably trying to figure out who it's going to be still. and he's going to have 2 Raws to build that feud up, and then he's going to go out at Survivor Series against somebody. And
I think I have it figured out.
I'm interested to see who it is, because that's what's going to happen.
Here's who it is. I know who it is. They're setting it up. It's Dominik Mysterio. He's going to retire the United States champion. Hustle, loyalty, respect.
Yeah.
And Dominik still keeps going strong because he still has the other belt.
Well, we need to talk about Dominik too.
He said one of the matches he wanted to have on that one promo he cut was Dominik Mysterio.
He did say that. He did say that.
He did, but there's other people too, and I guess we're not going to get to AJ because he's made mention of AJ.
Yeah,
right. He's
doing all those styles clashes,
and he started doing AJ's moves. So, and he said that when the people's moves that he's doing is people I'm not going to get the chance to do it against, and he hasn't done anything for Dom. So I mean, and he mentioned Dom's name,
now,
but he also mentioned Jacob Fatu and the Usos. And so, I mean, like, and he hasn't done any of their moves. He hasn't done anything to do like that. So I'm very intrigued to see what's going to happen here. I mean, he still has time to do other things. Do their moves, but I'm just saying that he hasn't done it yet. And so, like, I mean, but also I'm gonna be straight up with you. If it ain't Cena that takes the belt off of Dom for whatever reason, even though I do agree with Dad on that, and I would want that. I still can't ignore the fact, and neither can anyone else, that Dom went back to being an a-hole to his dad and made his dad put that belt around his waist, and they didn't do all that for no reason.
Yeah, so yes, you're right, and this is a conundrum in my mind because I like that. I want John Cena and Dom, and I want John Cena to be a Grand Slam. That fits the mold. I would love that. Happy ending, we're done. But Dom's got to get through Rusev, and we need to talk about that. We're going to talk about that. Dom's got to get through Rusev. Okay.
Well, Cena's got to get through Lesnar.
And he will. He will. He'll get through Lesnar. He may not win, but it'll be done. Brock's going to make his moment. Guys, Gunther lost at Crown Jewel last year.
Right.
Gunther's mad and Gunther's ready to come back. How do you make Gunther relevant right off the bat? We've been saying put him on SmackDown, but John Cena's not a SmackDown superstar anymore. I think you feud this Crown Jewel and John Cena goes out with Gunther. And, I mean, but then again, how do you, because you got Dominik and Rey. I just trying to see how it makes sense. We could be way wrong. It could be somebody that we have no idea about, but.
Right. I have said this before, and I really do believe it. And Dad has not necessarily liked it, but I think it's just Dad being a fan of Gunther and why he hasn't liked it. But like, I do see, what I've always seen happening is Cena finally winning the IC title, Gunther showing back up and taking the title off of Cena, and like Gunther taking back the IC title. And I've been seeing that in my head several times because Gunther versus Cena has been a match that fans have wanted throughout this tour.
Yeah. Like, so what do you think then? Do you think we just get some build up where Dominik has to defend against an unknown opponent at Crown Jewel and it's John Cena and John Cena beats him at Crown Jewel?
Beats him at Crown Jewel, and then Cena fights Gunther at like Survivor Series, and then Gunther takes off of him at Survivor Series, and then John Cena gets his retirement match. He goes home, done.
That would be fun. That's
exactly what I can see.
Jimmy, that's good. You opened up a can of worms there. That's good stuff.
He dethroned the thing, and plus, let's be real, man. I get it's the IC title. You don't want to see Gunther kind of do that, but I mean, the IC title picture is nice right now. I mean,
Gunther is IC title legend. He will be forever.
Right, and let's be real. Think about it. Think about a Gunther and Rusev feud. Gunther and like Gunther and Sheamus have had some of the best classic matches back in 2022. So like, and Sheamus still needs that IC title to be a Grand Slam too. So think about that feud being reunited, or throw Rusev and then have that triple threat feud, and that's a meat slapper from freaking hell. Rusev, Sheamus, and Gunther in the ring at the same time.
Oh my gosh! Dude. Oh, then you have the real League of Nations. Sheamus, Gunther, and Rusev on a team.
Exactly,
guys. What are we even talking about anymore? Like, this is awesome. It'll never happen. It'll never happen the way we want it to. But man, there's the possibilities are endless. Whew, okay, back to reality. Back to reality. Oh man, this is so fun. I love talking wrestling with y'all. Dominik, you're up. Give me your pop.
Since Dad already said Cena, I'm gonna give my pop to Bayley whenever she came out. The crowd ate her up. She was awesome, and also she just deserves all the recognition in the world for being the greatest character in wrestling right now. Like I freaking love Bayley, dude. The alter ego thing is awesome. I love it.
So I'm with you. My pop of the week was gonna go to Bayley, but it wasn't for Bayley when she came out. So when Bayley came out, okay, she got a reaction. She's returning, big deal. When Bayley got her biggest pop was when she went mental in the middle of the ring and then started partying with everybody and hugging people.
Yeah, that's true.
That was when it took off for me.
That's a good
Lyra
take.
looked at Bayley. Bayley looked at Lyra. Bayley had this moment where she was
everyone.
blocking out the voices, and then wow, she went
started,
wild.
She brought back. She was hugger. See, that's what I'm loving, man. She's either hugger Bayley or she's a heel. She's either hugger Bayley or she's a heel. It's one or the other, and it's nasty
See,
heel.
And I
too.
know hugger Bayley's a thing, but I couldn't help. I called her spring break Bayley on this episode because she was just partying with everybody. Went to the announcing table, partying with everybody.
Well, that was well for viewers and other people who weren't watching during the late 2010s. Bayley's gimmick, her first ever gimmick on the main roster, was literally hugger Bayley. She literally used to have a whole section of the crowd with people holding signs up saying this is the hugger section, and like it was a whole thing. Like it was one of her biggest gimmicks.
Well, and I'm glad you mentioned that because that wraps up what we brought into our original segment talking about Lyra and Roxanne. The final thing to talk about Lyra and Roxanne was at the end of Lyra's match with Roxanne, Bayley did make her return. She came out, she stomped on Roxanne and Bayley. She stomped on Roxanne and Raquel. And then there was a moment where Lyra faced off with Bayley and Bayley flipped. She just went wild in the middle of it all and started hugging everybody and partying with the announcers and even the timekeeper. She tried to get Alicia Taylor to dance and Alicia wouldn't do it. Shame on Alicia, by the way.
Right, shame
Come on,
Alicia, by the way. Yes, you're lame. Even the fan was a better reactor to it all than you were. Like, this is your job, woman. Like this.
Our other previous ring announcers would have danced with Bayley.
Oh yeah, Samantha Irvin would have easily danced with Bayley. God,
yeah,
I miss that
they who must not be named. I would love to see Samantha Irvin dance, by the way.
Oh, Lord,
Lillian Garcia
would have Ricochet is a lucky man.
Yeah, Lillian Garcia would have done it too. She drank a beer with Stone Cold.
Lillian Garcia is the man, is a woman. I love her.
Is the man. Don't tell Becky. All right. Well, good stuff. We share our pop. Awesome. Jimmy, let's take a moment now. Let's go ahead and do this. Tell the world why you're in Riyadh right now.
Because TNT is bringing us to Riyadh for WrestleMania 2 nights. That 0.0002% of the United States fans that have been with WWE all these years will not be able to see in person. And if they did, all the women would be wearing more clothes than one of the aisles at Sears. You know, that's it's
one of the
gonna
aisles
be.
That's crazy.
It's gonna be. It's not good. I don't like it. I'm sorry. No.
I'll just say it. Shame on the WWE for this.
Yeah.
I understand having some shows over there. Okay. Your investment, part of your investment comes from there. But moving the biggest show of the year, you're a company that was built on the back of American people. You were. The American people built the WWF.
Yeah.
We built the WWE.
Well, 100%.
Moving them over there for this, okay. It's one thing to do it and just, basically tell the country that built you, we're taking away WrestleMania from you. It's another thing to subject women to this because America as a whole disagrees with the culture and the treatment of women in Saudi Arabia. And then here's the icing on the cake. Because the prince was there for the announcement, the women that were included in the announcement had to come out on stage and stand behind them while they made this announcement, dressed up, covering their bodies so that the prince was honored during that segment where the announcement was made.
And you could see the facial expressions of all these women that were back there. Bianca, Charlotte, Liv, Stephanie. None of them actually looked happy. Every once in a while, you catch them do a little smile because they're like, "Oh wait, I gotta look happy."
No, I watched it twice. The only one that was smiling through it was Liv, and I couldn't help but think that Liv was just making the most of the moment. I don't think she was happy either. She was just being Liv.
Oh yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying is like every once in a while you may have seen a smile or two from one of them, but like but still, yeah, Liv was the only one that smiled, and it's like and even the guys. Even the guys weren't really happy about it like that either. Like Seth and Logan looked like they were dead back there. Like they had no really any like. And Undertaker's supposed to be promoting this, and he's kind of just like talking lower than he talked when he was the dead man. Like
these women have worked hard to and listen. We're I'll even say it this way: we're Christians on this show, and we believe that certain things are acceptable and certain things aren't acceptable spiritually. And some of these wrestlers going out and creating OnlyFans and stuff like that, we disagree with that. We think they're worth 100%. More. We think they're worth more. We value women and we don't objectify women. But these women have worked hard to express themselves in certain ways that is against the law for them to do in these foreign countries, such as Saudi Arabia. And and what I'm trying to say is they've worked hard on their physique. They've worked hard on their image. They have tattoos that they invested and spent money in, and they've done all this thing to present themselves a certain way. And we take these women and we take them to a country where they have to censor themselves in order to participate. And I think that is just foul in every bit of the way. And then not only that, but see, this is where it gets even worse. Not only that, when they make the announcement from their home country, our country, they censor these women because they're in the presence of the Prince of Saudi Arabia. And to me,
that's crap.
That is demeaning. It is absolutely demeaning. I understand going to someone's house and being respectful when you're in that person's house. But the same should be true to us. The prince was in our house. The women were in our house. And they made the announcement, and they had to cater to this man and their poor treatment of women while they're on our ground. Sad. Absolutely horrible. Yeah. And listen, as much credit as we give Triple H, and I don't know that he had any say in this, honestly, but as much credit as we give Triple H for being who he was, we're hoping that TKO and WWE find some backbone at some point and say that this is what we're going to stand for and what we're not. And here's the deal. We're the product. We're the demand. WWE is what they want, and if they want it bad enough, they can do it and offer some respect to our women that are a part of the product. Yeah. That's what I got to say.
Isn't TKO a Saudi Arabian company?
It is, but again, the WWE has a board that presides over it.
Yeah, The Rock's on that board.
The Rock needs to come on and do something. He's got kids.
Right, The Rock needs to come down and
he's got daughters.
He needs to come lay up the smack it down on the brother and do like he needs to come. He needs to come and drop.
Yeah, that's what he needs to do. That's what he needs to do. He needs to come out and do a promo. And he says, "Where did you say WrestleMania 2027 is going to be hosted?" Oh, Rock, it's going to be. It doesn't matter where it's going to be hosted. These women aren't going to cater to your beliefs. You slap nuts.
That was slap nuts.
While we're here, I also want to mention that when we watch this WrestleMania, we're going to have an ESPN subscription. And so, I mean, if we're going to go there, let's go there.
I mean, look,
or we'll go back to the movie theater.
Okay, I'll put it this way. I understand the frustration of the ESPN for the fans because like the price and stuff, and like I get it, and like it is very annoying, especially because like everything else, wrestling is already so expensive too, like to go to live shows and stuff like that. So then now you're gonna make it to where watching PLEs is expensive too, like from just the comfort of your home, blah blah. Like I get that, but at the same time, I also know the exposure that WWE is gonna gain from being able to do this, because now WWE people are on SportsCenter, they're on First Take, they're on Good Morning Football, they're
Pat
getting
McAfee.
the Pat McAfee show. The business is gaining a lot from this. The exposure is through the roof, and they've always announced themselves as sports and entertainment, and this is the first time ever that they're actually on a sports platform. And so to me, I get the frustration behind having to pay that much, but I also understand from the business aspect and from the ability to actually elevate to that level.
All right, I'm gonna put it like this. I'm gonna put it like this, brother.
But I'll say,
Son.
real quick, at what cost and what's acceptable? That's it. Jimmy, take it.
Right.
Here's the thing. Here's what it is. To me, it ain't looking good. The theme song, what's the word I'm looking for? Sucks. The name of the event, sucks. I mean, it's not looking good.
We're talking about WrestlePalooza now, right?
Be on there.
Yes, he's talking about WrestlePalooza.
So I'm gonna go to the theater and I'm gonna watch with an open mind, and hopefully it will be the best PLE we've ever seen. And then I'll say, okay, if it's going to be like this, then it's worth an ESPN subscription.
It's not going to be the best PLE because Joe Hendry's not scheduled to be there. I'm sorry. You're not going to beat WrestleMania.
Well, hey, it's ESPN. They can bring him.
Unless Drew McIntyre wins the title. If Drew McIntyre wins the title, I'll pay ESPN all my money.
Yeah, that would be a good start.
Yeah, I know. I'm all about it. I hear you.
If it's like this week in wrestling, then why would I want to pay more? I mean, obviously,
I was
so
actually going to say that even though I'm saying what I'm saying, what I just said before you said what you just said, I was also going to counter it with exactly also what you just said. The fact that with that though, they have to deliver now. Like they have to. We can't be having buck PLEs like that. That's no longer that they put themselves in a position where that no longer can be an option. Like if you're gonna make someone pay $30 a month just to watch one PLE a month, because that's about the average is one PLE a month, then you better that PLE better be $30 a month worthy. Like
you're basically paying for pay-per-views like you used to now.
Right, it's basically what it is. Yeah, you're paying $30 to watch the PLEs now because it's about once a month, and so that's about the rate that you're paying. It was what the rate it was back when it was pay-per-views. So
I'm glad there's 3 of us watching on the same TV, so we don't have to pay it every 3 months.
Well, there you have it. That's how we feel about Saudi. And Riyadh season.
I'm gonna see, and I'll even go as far to say this about Saudi. One last real quick take before we get off of it is I'm not even necessarily like you said. I get giving them shows every once in a while, little things here and there, like the Crown Jewel or like the Night of Champions or whatever. Those things, those are fine. Whatever, it doesn't bother me none. But if you're gonna give another place a big PLE like a Royal Rumble or Elimination Chamber or even like just whatever, Survivor Series, give it to the places that, number one, don't have restriction on the women, and number two, are a better crowd. I don't know, Paris, Canada. Give those places something if you're going to give another place something. You know what I mean? I'm being for real.
I'm gonna tell y'all what I did this week. This is going to stay on the podcast too. I commented my feelings about WrestleMania being in Saudi Arabia, said how mad I was about it and how our women deserve more. And I got a lot of heat from people that are, from there. Some guy called me out and called me a lot of names and said I was bad. And I said, listen, bro, today's not the day I start caring about the opinion of someone who castrates their daughters.
Oh, gosh. Lord. Hey, man, look, we speak the truth and nothing but the truth on this podcast.
Marriages?
Don't care.
Yeah, we speak the truth. We speak the truth and nothing but the truth.
Yeah.
On this podcast, and that's the truth, and that's the bottom line. We're not the only ones. If we were to take a petition across America on how we feel about this whole situation, I promise you, we wouldn't be the only one standing.
All right. Well, there we have it. We've said some stuff.
Right.
And we stand by it. We stand by it.
Yeah.
Let's move on. Dominik, I want to give you something. You know, you've been saying this a little bit, and I've been saying this a little bit, and we got something we've been talking about on the booking couch. We don't always get that. But we have a new tag team on SmackDown, a new women's tag team, looks like. And honestly, I couldn't be less happy about this, but we got what we wanted. It's kind of like making wishes on a vindictive genie. You know, you say what you want, and they find ways to make you regret asking for it. Looks like B-Fab is going to be teaming up with Michin to make a tag team. Woo, woo! Everybody celebrate. Yay.
Yeah. And the bad part is this isn't the first time they tried this angle with these two. They tried this angle a little while back, so it's annoying.
Folks, the reason I'm saying that is because there was a non-match on SmackDown we covered at the beginning, and B-Fab was supposed to take on Julia, and unfortunately, before B-Fab even made it to the ring, Julia and Kiana beat the crap out of her. The match never started. And then Michin would come down and make the save with a big old kendo stick. And that was it. Bell never rang. Match never happened. But you had Michin and B-Fab standing tall in the ring to end that segment. And it looks like we're going to have Michin and B-Fab. And it looks like B-Fab is not going to be with the Street Profits anymore. So there will probably be some time before we see the Street Profits again as they work out whatever the Wyatts did to them. All right. Moving right along. Let's talk about this real quick, too, because it happened. In the main event of SmackDown, Drew McIntyre took on Randy Orton, and Drew McIntyre would win that match, which was cool. I like Randy. I like Drew. We just really want Drew to be a champion. That's what we want. So Drew won. Drew, actually, it was kind of crazy because Randy was getting ready to do a punt kick on Drew at one point, and then Drew turned it around. Randy was laying up against the announce table, and before Cody disappeared for a few weeks, the last time we saw Cody, Drew had claymored him through the side of the announce table. It was brutal. It was awesome.
Yes.
Randy just happens to be laying in the same position up against the announce table, and Drew McIntyre's getting ready to kick him through it. I was on the edge of my seat for this. I was like, here we go, spot 2. But the savior of wrestling, everybody's favorite, not favorite wrestler, Cody Rhodes made his return, saved Randy Orton, and said, I will see you at WrestlePalooza. Now, I will give Cody credit. He's the first person to say WrestlePalooza and make it sound decent. But he was Meme City after that. And it showed him slurring WrestlePalooza and stuff like that all over the internet. But it hasn't been announced yet, Dominik. You tell me. Is it going to be a championship match at WrestlePalooza between Cody and Drew?
Yes. Pat McAfee on the Pat McAfee show confirmed it will be for the championship today.
But there's one good thing about it with having Cody at WrestlePalooza. His entrance is long enough to go pee if you're at the movie theater, and you make it back plenty of time and won't miss the match.
Ain't that the truth? And we're talking about a pee from our pops here, and this man can pee for about 5 minutes straight. He holds the record, guys. Trust me.
You can listen to an entire Ed Sheeran song while he's in the bathroom.
Oh, Lord, that's long.
Well, that pretty much caps off SmackDown, guys. So wanted to give that to you. That's what I'm excited about WrestlePalooza. Honestly, out of everything going on, I'm hoping Drew wins the championship. Will it happen? Probably not. Do I want it to happen? Yes. Am I going to watch just for that? Yes. And I'll be sending y'all messages. I hope he wins. I want it to happen. I know he signed a big deal. When he re-signed his contract, when he resigned his contract, he signed a big deal, and championship was part of it. We know that, so we're hoping this is where it starts. And Cody's still got to go film Street Fighter.
Right. I'm honestly like, dude, I'm really hoping it too. I'm really, really, really begging for it. And but I also told Adrian literally today that if Drew McIntyre wins the title, I'll probably be more shocked than I have been all year. My bucket of popcorn will go flying, and I'll be tripping in the theater and not give a crap.
Don't spill mine.
But I'm for real, dude. Drew McIntyre actually wins, I'm gonna lose it in a good way.
Yeah. All right, here we go. Let's move on. Let's do underrated overrated.
Oh, yes.
And I'll
Let's do it.
start here just because it's the last bit of our bleed over, and then I'm going to get real controversial. So we're going to go with just underrated for now. We'll do overrated second, but hear me out on this. I'm going to get real controversial when we get to the end of this. Underrated though, not controversial, and I was really happy to see this. Tiffany Stratton hasn't been involved as much on programming as she was, of course, not too long ago. So when Tiffany Stratton came out for her match in Springfield on SmackDown, it was the loudest the crowd was outside of John Cena. And I don't know if she's had any kind of cosmetic stuff done or what. I know I sent y'all a text saying, did Tiffany get face work done? Tiffany looks like a real legit champion now. And I'm talking about like Becky Lynch champion, Rhea Ripley champion. I'm saying when she comes out with that belt, she looks legit. And I gave her underrated because I felt like, ooh, this is big match hype just because Tiffy's coming out, the way she looks, the way she presents herself now. She's come so far in the year that she's been in WWE. So I gave her underrated just because I forgot. And I never felt the way I felt about her this week. So Tiffy gets my underrated. She's awesome. Absolutely awesome. So
yeah, she is. She has accomplished a far amount of accomplishments within just a year of being on the main roster, and she is on one heck of a title run. Even though it's kind of slowed down over the past month, it's still been a great title run nonetheless, and I like her.
She's still the champion, and she's beat some big names. She's pulled in some legends. So sorry for me for forgetting how great Tiffany was, but
Tiffany's amazing. Yeah.
Who wants to give me theirs next?
I got you right here. My underrated actually goes. I was going to segue it from my flop, but it goes to Rey Fenix. I think that and I think underrated in the aspect of the company. I think the company hasn't given him enough opportunities. Man, he is phenomenal. Like I like him more as a fighter. Like I have more fun watching him fight in the ring than I do almost any other luchador. Like he's just really that good. Like he pulls off moves that are just ridiculous. Like running across the top rope and to the throws. I mean, he's just so insane. He kind of reminds me. He really reminds me of with his skill set, bro. He reminds me of prime peak Sin Cara. Well, if you don't know anything about Sin Cara viewerships, that's worth going back to watch. I'll tell you what. Sin Cara was the man. Okay?
Wasn't there a guy too, Dominik? We're talking about rope work. Wasn't there a guy that was on WWE for a little bit called Evan Bourne?
Yes, Evan Bourne, Airborne. Yes, I know exactly who you're talking about.
He was really good too, and he's just really gone. I loved watching him.
He's in the indies, but yes, he is so good, bro. Evan Bourne was that man too. You want to go back and watch that too, viewers? That's a good person to go watch. But still, Rey Fenix is my version of the modern day Evan Bourne, Sin Cara. He is just that good. And Sin Cara and Evan Bourne both got their shots at some mid-card titles, U.S. Intercontinental. So I'm down to do it for Rey Fenix. Get him in the tag team division, whatever. He's that dude. I like him. He's really good. So I think he goes in my underrated for sure.
Cool. I like that. Jimmy?
I had Rey Fenix as well. Like Dominik said earlier, when we heard him announce that he was fighting Sami, I almost didn't watch the match. I said, if you're gonna do this every week, at least have somebody out there that we don't know who's gonna win.
Right.
We know they're not gonna give this title to Rey Fenix, but he should have got the title. He carried the match. He had the best performance of the week out of everybody in WWE. Now, that includes the pay-per-view.
For sure.
There was no way Sami should have kicked out of 3 of those moves.
He didn't kick out of 1. Just remember,
you're right.
Technically, Rey Fenix is your U.S. champion.
Right, but technically, in all technicality, Rey Fenix is United States champion. Everyone, like Lord, I mean, how do you botch a kick out? How do you botch a kick out?
Ask Damian Priest. His was worse.
I mean, dude.
But if he if he comes out this week, I'm be happy. I'll get to see him again because he was a burner, and I
he
was
was awesome.
disappointed, but it ended up being really good.
Now, while we're talking about this, let's talk about something else real quick because I don't know. Sami, U.S. title open challenge, cool. He beats Rey. Later on in the show, there would be some drama between Carmelo and The Miz because The Miz would find out that Carmelo officially asked for his title shot, and he's gonna get it, which is great. Now I think if it's this early, he's not gonna win either. But whatever. It's more about the Miz storyline. I want to know everyone's opinion because I've watched it back 3 or 4 times and I can't tell. There was a person in the background dancing, and I can't tell if it was Uncle Howdy watching because the Wyatts are about to come for the U.S. title, or if it was Shinsuke Nakamura.
We all thought it was Shinsuke.
If I could find the image that I had that someone on my Twitter posted, I would literally send it to you, but I did not save it, and I would try to dig for it. The point is, someone was able to zoom in on it somehow, and it was Shinsuke. It was Shinsuke because it actually happened twice in SmackDown, and someone was able to get a zoom in picture of it, and it was Shinsuke. I'm pretty positive of that too. I for one never thought it was Uncle Howdy just because of the way the guy was kind of built. Uncle Howdy is a little bit more of a little bit more broader stature to him. That guy was really skinny and lanky kind of build. So I really honestly was convinced that it was Shinsuke. So
now one other thing that's come up too, when the guy's dancing, he's doing this. You know who else does this when they come to the ring? Ilya.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, you never know, I guess, right? We actually really know no matter what kind of angle we get, we never really actually know.
Ilya Dragunov composes the band. I've never seen him dance, really, like the guy was dancing. It really looked like Shinsuke, but Uncle Howdy dances when he's back screen, too. He's the only one of the Wyatts that does it. I couldn't tell. I didn't see the second part. I saw the one when he was talking to Carmelo. Where was the second appearance?
Gosh, I'm trying to remember. I think it was, maybe it was just one. Then I don't know why I thought there was 2, or where I heard there was 2. I might be wrong on that. Okay. Excuse me on that, but I know for a fact there was the one.
No problem. I was curious. I would have gone back and watched it. Okay, so underrated. Ray, Tiffany, good takes. Those are both SmackDown people this week. So even though we only got 3 matches again on SmackDown, someone shoot me. We got some good action. Okay, overrated. Let's go in reverse. Jimmy, give me your overrated.
I'm gonna come back to the New Day. I'm tired of the New Day.
I can agree.
I mean, I want to see the Grayson Waller angle play out, but let's just go ahead and get that done.
I'm
right excited potentially about Austin Theory, though. That's fun. That could happen.
Yeah.
Yes.
All right. Well, we talked a lot about the New Day already. So, Dom, give me your overrated.
I'm gonna be honest, man. Okay. So I got 2 people. Really, because number one is straight up. I'm sorry. I know he's holding a streak at this point, but my overrated, my first person is Sami. I'm sorry, man, but do you know what this push is kind of reminding me of right now, or this so-called push? You know what it's reminding me of, dude? It's reminding me of a very dark time when yes was being shoved down my throat as a child, and what's made me stop. It's what made me go on an 8-year gap of not watching wrestling at all, by the way.
What if you get that as John Cena's final opponent?
I'm not going to do that. What?
What if you get the yes movement for John Cena's final opponent?
Well, I don't mind him now. I mean, he's developed a stature to himself and a heck of a career. Like Daniel Bryan has been able to redeem himself. I have nothing but respect for Bryan Danielson. He is great now, but at the time, as a kid, I literally wanted to break the TV. Like I wanted to steer it off my TV stand.
I hated it.
When they had him beat Batista and Randy Orton by himself, double world champion at WrestleMania, I was done. I literally that night remember turning off WrestleMania, telling myself I was never watching wrestling ever again. I literally went 8 years without watching it. And
I
honestly,
think that's when I stopped
pushed.
watching too, honestly, was during that whole part. And so yeah, no, I'm with you. Overrated, Sammy again.
This push is just that's what's reminding me of. I mean, like he had no business like you said, he didn't even kick out with one of them. But I mean, he got killed that whole match just to pull off one move and win, and it just sucked for me. It really did, and it was a good move at the end. You know, I'll give respect's due. It was a good it was a good move at the end to win, but it still was just not it. It just sucked, you know. And then I'm going with that. But my other person is also Rusev. I don't hate him. I don't think he's bad. But to just immediately put him in an Intercontinental title thing, kind of but it can be good. But right now, it's not. No, it's not it for me.
I think Rusev is overrated, but I can't say it's bad because I'm ready for him to do nasty prison things to Dominik Mysterio.
Now, that's what I was also going to counter it with. And that's why I left him as my second person, was I was going to counter it with this either goes one or two ways. We see Dom get absolutely killed, or this is really the first time in Dom's career that he's actually going to fight someone that's not like in his weight class. He had a little thing with Damian for a little bit, but everyone helped him with that every single time. This is going to be the first time he'll probably get help from the Grandes, but let's be real. The Grandes, we're still talking about Rusev here. We're talking about a monster.
See, right? I don't think so. Let's save Dominik for a little bit because I think I've got this all worked out. And I want to share with you what I got. But Rusev is overrated. I agree with you. But for the first time since Rusev's been back, despite the Donnybrook match, I'm waiting to see what Rusev's going to do next, and we'll talk about it. Let's stay in overrated, underrated. Good take so far. I'm about to blow the roof off of our commentary here because I'm going to tell you who I think is already overrated. Bear with me. AJ Lee.
I knew you were about to say it. I knew it the second you said it.
Listen. CM Punk coming out to AJ's music, standing behind her, smiling coy. I can't even put into words just how much cuck is going on right now with CM Punk. AJ Lee was not threatening at all in her promo. She wasn't good on the mic. She looked really small up against Becky this week, and she made CM Punk lose his aura completely. Now, can she redeem herself? Sure, maybe. I don't know. But this past week, just involving this past week, I was watching this promo, and the thing that kept coming in my head was, man, AJ's overrated. She's not impressive right now. She's not menacing. And honestly, that promo did not help AJ Lee and CM Punk's position going into WrestlePalooza. It just didn't. On the flip side, I'm going to give some huge credit to another person that was a part of that promo later on. But her promo back where she discussed her time off and stuff, okay, cool. It was a good recap of AJ Lee. Nice. Awesome. But she didn't hit home there, really. It was just a good welcome home promo for AJ. And then she has her first confrontational promo against Becky and Seth, and she has mic time, and she blew it. It wasn't good. So unfortunately, I'm giving the overrated title to AJ Lee this week. I wasn't impressed. Sorry. I know the wrestling world loves her. I like her, but
I can see where you're coming from. The only line throughout the whole thing from her that I liked was when she was like, well, Becky, thank you for reading my book. I did not read yours. She was like,
yeah, that was a good line, but even then, that's not enough to carry a promo. You've got two of the hottest couples.
It wasn't enough to carry it. It wasn't enough to carry it. I will say that. I'm just saying that's the only line that I liked. But I will also say that if we're going to talk about Punk kind of looking bad and like auraless in a way. I'm not gonna lie to you. Even if I wish Adrian was on today, because Adrian was talking to me about this and we both agreed on it. Someone who's kind of getting destroyed right now, character-wise, for me and Adrian, and we're both a big fan of this person, and I think it's just because of the character work that they're trying to make him do. It's just not working for us. Is Seth. Seth has always been presented as this as the even when he was a heel, he never backed down from anyone. He never was afraid. He was a workhorse. He still was always that dude that would step foot and face to face with anyone. It did not matter. So this whole scared of CM Punk, I'm gonna keep running away from you, hide behind my wife thing, play dirty tricks thing. It's kind of getting old. I hate it because it's making me hate Seth. I'm sorry. Well, personal opinion, hot take. I don't care. I hate Seth. I hate him.
That's good though. He's a heel now. If you're this mad at Seth, he's doing a good job.
I guess you're right about that. But his everything that anyone's ever liked about him though is gone. So it sucks. I hate it. It's absolutely hot garbage.
Well, let me just segue then into this next segment then, because you brought it up, and I'm gonna hopefully fix your perspective a little bit. Seth is still the Seth that we love. You just got to look between the lines. They're doing some things to give AJ a push. They're caving. They're basically doing promo selling, like people sell moves in the ring. They're selling themselves to give someone a boost. And what they're doing now is they're trying to reestablish AJ.
I can see that.
But listen, Seth's fine, and I want to remind you why Seth is fine. Let's talk promo of the week. And to catch our viewers up, I mentioned AJ, and let me tell you what happened. We had a verbal confrontation between CM Punk, AJ Lee, and Seth and Becky. They came together. They did their verbal feud to get ready for their match at WrestlePalooza. It was okay. Promo of the week, though, literally goes to this only because of Seth. And Seth had a line in this promo that made me go, okay. And let me tell you what it was. Seth got his, and Seth is great on the mic, and we know that. You could tell Seth was waiting on this all promo. There was a part of the promo where Seth looked at AJ and he says, listen, I don't know how well you know your husband, but I know your husband very well. And he says, your husband has a tendency to leave things when they disappoint him. And he's talking about CM Punk leaving the WWE for all those years and then turning around and leaving AEW. And I mean, wow, talk about bringing up 10 years of history in one line. He finishes by then telling AJ Lee, let's hope you don't disappoint your husband at WrestlePalooza. And he's basically insinuating that, hey, if you don't perform well, your husband, your marriage might come to an end. Because your husband has a tendency to leave things that don't live up to his expectation. And when he gave that line the way he gave it, I sat there like, oh.
Yeah. Yeah, though I will give respect to that. Seth was dirty for that.
Got it. Seth still got it, bro. That's the only reason I got to disagree with you, because Seth, we're going to be fine. Seth's going to be fine. As soon as this AJ thing's over.
The part of it all that me and Adrian did not talk about is the fact that maybe he's just trying to actually get some heel heat. And so he's definitely successfully getting it in my book.
Also notable, AJ slapped Seth's face this week.
Yeah, that's true.
That's what led to it too. He said that and she slapped him. So, now it got cringy whenever Seth repeated CM's line and was like, I won't hit a woman, but I have somebody who will. Seth, CM Punk did that when AJ came out. So it didn't hit hard, but okay. But when we're talking promos of the week, and I wanted to give you my promo there because it bled into that segment. Jimmy, Dominic, give me your promos of the week.
Mine was Bayley in the locker room when Lyra went to thank her for uh, taking up for her in the ring.
Okay, tell me about it.
Um, Bayley was just a whole different person. No hugs, nothing. She just read her the riot act, and Lyra already looked like she got thrown off the top rope and hit her head real hard, which she did. And I thought it was good. I've never been able to stand Bayley, but I'm like Dominik. I'm liking her right now. She's and her and Becky Lynch are just recreating themselves. I love when that happens.
I'm hoping we get to like Bayley again for a while. The jury's still out with me. I like what she's doing right now, but I'm cautious to jump on the Bayley bandwagon. We'll see. We'll see how Bayley does. Bayley has a tendency to lose character too. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
She starts with something and then that goes away and ding dong. Reset. But I agree with you. It was a good segment, and Lyra was sitting there. Poor Lyra. Lyra's on the losing end of a lot right now. She's just like, and not to mention poor Lyra. The internet found out who Lyra's currently dating, and the guy looks like he's, one of these weird fish they find on these Facebook reels from other countries. I swear, he's a weird looking fella, and he's dating Lyra Valkyria, and I'm just like, bro, I'm sorry. You might as well enjoy that while it lasts, because once Lyra hits stardom, she gonna drop you, bro. Yeah, you look like an unsolved Rubik's cube. That's what you look like.
Good Lord, an unsolved Rubik's cube is crazy.
Ain't no way, right? Ain't no way.
Oh,
Dominik,
man.
Promo of the week, brother.
Well, promo of the week goes to two separate people. I got a lot of two people this week, but they consist of what my background is. Since we're going to talk about background, Let's bloodline. First one goes to none other than Solo on SmackDown when he was talking about how he sacrificed loyalty, he sacrificed family, he sacrificed everything just to have that title ripped away from him by Sami, and how he's tired of living in the shadows of everyone, and it's time for everyone to live underneath the shadows of his family tree. And it was just a really good promo. It got me excited. I'm ready to see what comes out of that. I'm really hoping it's kind of just like a tear from the whole group as a whole, just like going ballistic. But we'll see. I'm not going to be too hyped about it, but I love the promo as a whole because it showed a new, because like we've been seeing Solo try to develop as a character, right? This year, like we've seen him be the comedic like person, and he's been funny, and it's been great, and it's been working, and I love it. And they've been doing it really well. But then it also showed that he can be raw, and that he can deliver a really good, emotional promo. And so it was good. I liked it a lot. He was serious, but he also was still delivering, and so it was nice. I liked it. Even Dad said he liked it too. So it was a great promo. I like that one a lot. My other one is Jay on the phone. I'm telling you, man, there's some good stuff about to happen. If you think I'm tripping, bro, you're just a hater at this point, man.
Okay, who is he talking to?
Roman. Him and Roman are working together. They're plotting up stuff. They are about to blow the roof off of the company as a whole and just go absolutely insane.
Part of me wanted to believe he was calling his dad.
I hear that, but I really do believe, like, okay, Jay, they don't want to not continue to elevate Jay, and the only place that Jay can go more up in is getting to the level echelon of a main eventer as Roman.
Well,
and that's what's going to happen.
Stop right there, because I think they're propelling Jimmy.
No, I don't. I think Jimmy's going to get destroyed. I do. I think Jimmy's about to get killed. But the push for Jimmy is going to be way later down the road, like sometime next year. I do believe the push for Jimmy is coming, but I believe right now they're going to push Jay into the echelon level of a tribal chief. Roman will be a part-time fighting wise man for Jay, and Jimmy will take down Jay. And then right when they're getting ready to put the Eula follow on Jimmy, and Jimmy be the guy, Jimmy's going to break it and end the toxicity of the family.
Okay, stop right there.
That's solid booking.
Where does Jacob Fatu fit into this?
Oh, Jacob Fatu is going to be with Jay.
But Jacob Fatu's friends with Jimmy.
Jacob Fatu is friends with Jimmy, but Jacob Fatu, but I can see it being Jacob working with Jay because like Jacob, think about it, they keep him off TV long enough. It doesn't matter who he was friends with. One day Jay just needs someone to get destroyed, drops a bomb and shows that he's that deep in his bag, and boom, pulls out Jacob.
I know you like it. I don't. I want Jacob and Jimmy to.
I mean, I wouldn't be mad if it's Jacob and Jimmy that work together and take it down either. And that's where you can put Jacob at too. But I'm just saying that I believe that this right now the movement is to put Jay up there so that the company can have a full-time like person who was like Roman, and then Roman can remain part-time and be giving Jay all these orders, and Jay gets pushed, and then Jimmy and Jacob are trying to deal with this, and it all works together smoothly. And that's why I think me and Adrian believe that WrestlePalooza is going to end with Roman and Jay beating up Jimmy, because they announced today that Brock Lesnar and Cena are no longer main event in WrestlePalooza, and that the Usos and Braun Breaker are. I believe Roman gets one little random appearances between Street Fighter just to show up. And I believe the phone call was, let me run something through you. He ran it through him to take Jimmy down.
Okay. Well, all right. Good stuff. Let's wrap up some loose ends before we go into our final segments. We're talking about the Usos, and this is what happened in the main event of Raw. LA Knight and Jimmy teamed up. Now, throughout Raw, LA Knight was put into a match with them. He was told to find a partner. He went to Jimmy. Jimmy said no out of respect for Jay. There was a promo a little bit later on where Jay and Jimmy had a little heated discussion. Jimmy didn't like how it went, so Jimmy went out and said, LA Knight, I'm going to team up with you. Now, Jimmy, this is how it ended. LA Knight, at the end of the match, gave a cheap BFT to Jay when Jay wasn't expecting it. And this officially did put Jimmy in a weird spot with Jay. So what you're saying, Dominik, holds weight. It could actually happen. It would be cool. Now, what happens to LA Knight? Guess we'll find out at this point. But
anything can happen for him, really.
He can go anywhere. But hold on, I don't want to get on it. We're not. Hold on, I don't want to get on it. We're not talking about LA Knight. So that was the main event. That was the main event. We got some tension going into WrestlePalooza. Good take, Dominik, with what you said. Some other things that happened just to get us to where we're headed. Dragon Lee went and fought El Grande Americano. On this show for weeks, we've been talking about where all the other Grande Americanos have been. Dominik, Tyler Bates is not the third El Grande. He's not. This guy has different colors eyes than Tyler Bates. And honestly, here's the deal. The third El Grande Americano was not the same third El Grande Americano that appeared on camera months ago. I went back and I looked. They're not the same person. Whoever this El Grande is very, very small. He's a little guy. He's even small. He's the same size as Pete Dunne. And so basically what happened, Dragon Lee fought El Grande Americano. El Grande was able to win because not only did one El Grande show up, the third El Grande showed up. They all worked together, and then at the end of the match, you've probably seen this online. If you haven't, there was a spider meme done where they're all pointing at each other like who's who. It was kind of lame, but we actually did for real. We've proven there are 3 El Grandes, and I'm sure that there will be some exploration of this storyline Monday. I'm sure there will be. We'll finally get some answers. Okay, that happened. Also, something we haven't talked about, Stephanie Vaquer signed her contract officially to face Io Sky at WrestlePalooza. That's going to be a good one. Asuka is still being a menace right now and trying to rule Io's life. So Asuka booked a match on her own between Stephanie and Kyrie. Stephanie won, and then Io confronted Asuka at the end of the match because they wanted to beat up on Stephanie. Io wouldn't let them. You thought Io was coming out to help them beat up Stephanie. She actually stood between Asuka and Stephanie and said no, and then she showed some respect for Stephanie. So Io, Stephanie, WrestlePalooza, it's coming. And then that's pretty much all the action we didn't cover in our main segments, just to catch everybody up. Now we're going to move on to a segment, my favorite segment of the week. It always is my favorite segment of the week. We're going to discuss our heels of the week. Dominik, give me yours.
I'm gonna give mine to Seth and Jay. Seth did a really good job in his promo being a heel and like pulling that dirty move off with Becky, making it look like they were fighting. They had me fooled. I ain't gonna lie. Like if I was CM Punk and AJ Lee, I'd have fell for it too. Even though I would have known the script, I would have fell for it because freaking they had me convinced. I was really thinking. I'm thinking of the whole time. I'm literally. You can ask Dad who was in the living room with me. I'm like, there is no way that this is the angle that they're actually gonna go with here. There is no way. Like I was flabbergasted, and then boom, that happens, and I'm like, what a great job! Like what a phenomenal job.
They did heel work, baby.
Yeah, they did.
Becky's the heel queen right now.
Yeah, she is definitely the heel queen. But I give it to Jay because Jay was all barking orders at Jimmy and was all telling him what to do, and like he's continuing his movement, man. And I'm loving it. And then Jimmy,
you gotta think. You're right. You gotta think how much the wrestling world popped to see the Usos reunited, and literally 2 weeks into it, Jay's ruining. So yeah. I'll acknowledge the heel chief.
Yeah, he's doing it, bro. He's doing a really good job, and Jimmy's doing just as good of a job too, though. Like Jimmy's responses are phenomenal. When he was like, I don't see no Eula follow around your neck, and then the week prior to that, he's all like, you're acting like Roman Reigns. Like, I mean, Jimmy's doing just as good as Jay's doing.
I'll acknowledge the tribal underdog.
Yeah, the tribal underdog.
Jimmy.
There we go.
Okay.
No, for real, man. I'm loving it. That's my heels. That's my 2 heels of the week right there.
All right. Jimmy, what's your heel of the week?
Becky Lynch.
Yeah.
Look, dude, that one-liner she gave, I swear I don't know how she hadn't been fired. Where were they?
Yeah, what did she say? She did say something really...
Where were they? They were Springfield, right?
Springfield. Mm-hmm. They were in Springfield, Massachusetts.
She said the people of Springfield were the personification of herpes.
Yeah, that's what she said. It was bad. Awful.
I really don't know how she hasn't got fired yet either, brother.
Yeah, like, she got a heel reaction out of me again. She did.
She has been cooking people, bro. I mean, the crowd has not stood a chance.
Becky. All right. I got to give you my heel of the week. And
I'm ready.
Honestly, my heart hurt that this happened. My heel of the week goes to Finn Balor because he poured champagne all over Dominik's nuggies.
Yeah, he did. Oh my God.
He ruined Dominik's celebration. And I'm going to tell you right now, as much as I believe that Liv Morgan and Finn Balor are messing around on the side, in true canon form, if she had been there, she would have been furious with Finn Balor for ruining Daddy Dom's nuggies. I just believe it. I just believe it would have happened that way. To catch the viewers up, Dominik, we don't cover AAA because it's not technically WWE yet, but Dominik won the Mega Championship from El Vikingo this past weekend on AAA Worlds Collide. And honestly, if we covered AAA, Dominik would have gotten my heel of the week because of the way he treated his dad, Rey Mysterio. Him and his dad talked before his match, and he told him, he said, how about this? Whoever wins the match, you come and personally put the belt on their waist. And Rey agreed. And so, yeah, I thought it was going to be bad enough that Rey was going to have to put the belt on him, but Dominik treated him like garbage.
Wow.
Was in his face, pushing him around, made him put the belt on. That sucked. I hated to see it. But then over on Raw, look, it's behind me on the screen. Here we go. Those of you that are watching the show, you can see it. It's going to play out behind me while I'm talking. They celebrate Dominik being a double champion, but Finn Balor is so pissed off that El Grandes are still involved. And this is why I said we were going to talk about this later. Finn believes deep down that there's a reason the Grandes are helping Dom. And Dom says there's no reason. They just respect him being the king of the luchadors. Finn hated it, and he took his champagne and he poured it all over Dominik's tray of nuggies, celebratory tray of nuggies. And so Finn, with that action, you get heel of the week. Look, it's about to happen. There it goes. Oh, I'm so sad about it. Those were good nuggies. I love nuggies. Now, what happened though is Finn told Dom, he said, listen, you keep pulling that king of the luchador crap, and the next time you need help, don't come to the Judgment Day asking for help. We're not going to help you anymore because you're not giving us the credit we deserve for getting you where you're at. And right after the Judgment Day abandons Dominik and leaves him all by himself, Rusev shows up. He introduces himself and says, my name is Rusev, and I'm the next Intercontinental Champion. And I was like, if Dominik ever needed help, he needs it now because he's about to become Rusev's little brute.
Yeah, for real, though. For real,
it's gonna
though.
be bad. So that's my heel of the week. My heel of the week goes to Finn Balor. And boy, do I love Finn Balor.
I love Finn Balor, too. That's a good take.
Well, guys, we're going to wrap up our show now. It's time to discuss anything and everything as we take a sit on the booking couch. And I'll start off this one. It's been a good time. I'm sorry Adrian wasn't on this episode, but I feel like we've discussed a lot of really good stuff already. My booking couch is this, and I, give it speculation. We don't have to talk about it as long as you want. We can talk about it as long as you want. But I noticed something. When Brock Lesnar came out as a full-blown heel, he wasn't received as well as he was when he left, and he was acting like a face because his pants ripped and he was soaking in the moment, trying to make the best of it. And so my mind's been in this spot all week where I've been thinking, what if John Cena had held on to being the heel and he was going to ruin wrestling and he was going to retire with the title? And then at the end of John Cena's heel retirement run, Brock Lesnar was the one who returned to save wrestling and beat John Cena for the belt.
That probably would have gone a lot. That would probably been really cool. That'd been really cool.
I just can't help but think after what we saw that maybe, and here's the deal, it probably could have done a lot for Brock's image too if Brock would have returned for the people and taken the belt off of the Cena we all hated.
Yeah, I think
that.
Go for it, Jimmy.
Go ahead. I got a feeling that the match is going to be so good that maybe even if Cena wins, that Brock might shake his hand, and then that might set him off to be the goofy Brock.
That's
anti-hero.
That's actually exactly what I'm honestly kind of booking, especially since they changed it from the main event to the kickoff. I really do see like a moment in that match where it comes in, Brock Lesnar still, hard nosed, how he is, and he's beating the crap out of Cena. And Cena still keeps getting up, kind of like how they've been doing Cena since he's gone face. But then right when Lesnar's introducing him to Suplex City, and he's already took him through like 6 suplexes, and Cena kicks out again. He's getting ready to do another one. Cena counters it by what looks like he's about to just give him another AA, or about to give him an AA, and everyone's going crazy. He F5s Brock Lesnar. And then Brock Lesnar looks up after he gets F5 by Cena, and we get a moment where Lesnar's like, whoa, like, hold up. This guy actually is like, he's Cena, and then Cena. And so then it just becomes a brawl, and these guys start really going at it. And then Cena gets the win, and Lesnar like shakes his hand, and that feud ends as the last time ever, with Lesnar finally respecting Cena as the actual man, as the actual like fighter that he is. Because Lesnar's big beef and big hatred towards Cena all these years has been that you act like you're just something tough, but really you're just some kindergarten show artist. Like it's kind of the words that he's used several times. Like, you're not an actual fighter. You just hear to please these people. You can't actually fight. Like,
honorable mention promo of the week is when R-Truth said John Cena's coming in with hustle, or no, what did he say? He said horse hustle, loyalty, respect, and a vial of that little boy's tears. Like, dang.
Yeah, that was funny.
That was funny. Well, what about you guys? Give me some booking couch topics that's on your mind tonight. If we haven't already discussed them, sometimes we get them out in the show. That's totally fine.
I mean, my big one was honestly the Austin Theory one, and we already discussed that. And then my other one was Jay, which we've already really kind of glanced over that. I really do stand on both of those, though. Even if Jay's not necessarily presented as like the tribal chief, I still think that Roman and Jay working together is the move, and they're just gonna take over. Like, they're gonna be beating up the Vision, they're gonna be beating up Jimmy, they're gonna be beating up LA Knight, and it's just gonna be just absolute insanity. And I'm honestly ready for it. I'm ready to see how it works out, especially with War Games coming up. Like, it's just gonna be insane. I'm ready to see how it all plans out.
One of the things I can't shake either, though, is, we talked about the Riyadh thing and we had the wrestlers in the background. With Liv Morgan being back on screen, I just want, I don't know, yes or no. Do you think she's coming back at WrestlePalooza?
I mean, it could happen. I just don't know where. Like, I mean, I guess you could have the World Championship match in, and then like Liv Morgan just show up, and then like, but that's kind of like, like, I mean, that's cool. Liv Morgan's back. She shows that she has interest in the World Championship again, but like, we all know we'd much rather Liv Morgan return and continue, something with the Judgment Day. But so, I mean,
it's just been speculated, and I don't know where really she would fit in right now with the card the way it is, but God, I'm ready for her to be back on TV.
Oh, I am too, man. When I seen her be on that stage for the WrestleMania announcement thing, I was thinking to myself, I was like, oh, that's kind of cool that she's just standing back there.
Yeah.
I wonder what that means, if that means anything.
Well, Jimmy, we're almost out of time. You got any couch cushions to sit on?
Yeah, I want Sami to actually come to the ring and announce his open challenge. And I want to see Tala Tonga come out with a step stool and accept the challenge and say, you're going to need this if you're going to haluva kick me.
That would be absolutely hysterical. Okay, but no, for real, I want to end the podcast on a really high note. I want to end the podcast on a really, 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 really high note. Listen, man, listen. Okay, so hear me out, okay? Just hear me out. So NXT Homecoming was this week. You know who was promoting it like crazy? All over the internet? Karrion Kross was promoting it like crazy.
No, okay, yes, okay, that's true.
So hold up. Okay. Calm down, just listen. Karrion Kross has been promoting, but he also has been promoting other things about WWE. Like, he's even been posting WrestlePalooza on stuff. Like, he's been talking highly of WWE, just randomly here and there. And he has it, and he did a little indie match, but he even did those when he was on the roster. So there's nothing to worry about there. He's always done that little thing here and there. He's always had respect for the indies. So he's like showing up, giving them a big show, whatever. So, but here's my thing, bro. Here's my crazy opinion or booking. Okay, hear me out. What if a month from now, Sami Zayn comes out, U.S. Open Challenge, and we're anticipating. And then Karrion Kross's theme song goes off, and Karrion Kross goes out there and beats the ever-loving snot out of Sami.
With the steel pipe.
And him and Scarlett are standing there, Sami beaten down on the floor, him holding the U.S. title, steel pipe in Scarlett's hand, and them hugging. And it's just this absolute, like, you want to talk about big surprise moments that we're asking for, let's do that. Like, dude, come on, now, man. Dude,
Listen. Listen, here's another thing. Do you know who gave a promo during an indie event and said that they're in the city a week early, that it's not WrestlePalooza yet? Matt Cardona. Did you see that video?
Oh,
Matt Cardona gave an indie promo and said that he doesn't even know why he's here. He's better than this and stuff like that. And he said something along the lines of he's here a week early because WrestlePalooza isn't until next week.
dude,
Are we gonna get Matt Cardona on WWE? Did he just drop the bomb on that?
Dude, man, it'd be sick, man. And as much as I hate, as much as I don't like Sami, this U.S. Open Challenge can be some hellacious returns, bro. Matt Cardona was known for being a really good U.S. champ whenever he was on WWE. So
he's good. Period. I watched his highlights on Facebook.
Yeah, Matt Cardona was the man. I liked him a lot. He was I love him. I'm for either one. Heck, I'm for both. I just find it really weird to me, and kind of like something worth looking into, that Karrion Kross is really just like highly promoting them like he is. I think
we all knew he's not done. He will be back. But I'm going to stop you there. We're out of time. What we want to know from our viewers, though, this is the big thing. All of our viewers, whether it's Facebook, whether it's my TikTok, wherever you're seeing this stuff, we want to know from you, we want to know from you, who is John Cena's final opponent going to be? This is your chance. Dig in with us. Join the podcast. We want to know. We'll talk about it on next week's podcast. That's the big question we're leaving you with. Sorry we're out of time. We love to talk. I hope you love to listen. Once again, this has been The Hard Camera. This is episode 9. I'm joined this week again by Dominik, my brother, the patriarch of our family, Jimmy Rhodes. And, man, here we go. Our first ever WrestlePalooza. We'll be breaking it down for you on next week's episode. Until then, thank you guys for listening and watching. We appreciate you.